Okay, this is our last lesson for this week, and we're going to talk about integrating the vagus nerve to support just our daily life. This is our final lesson this week, and so far we've learned powerful ways to support the vagus nerve. But healing happens when these tools become part of your rhythm, not as one more thing on your never ending to do list, but as acts of nourishment, things you actually kind of look forward to because you're taking care of yourself. So, today we'll explore how to gently weave these techniques into your real life. The vagus nerve thrives on consistency. Just like a muscle, it strengthens with regular, gentle use. Even 2 to 5 minutes of daily practice helps your body learn a new pattern of safety. And these aren't emergency tools, right? These are daily cues that help your nervous system shift out of stress and into healing. So I know I keep kind of getting on my soapbox about consistency, but that's because it really matters. The more you can practice this every day and it becomes just part of how you live, that's when it starts working, right? These are not skills you just want to pull out when you're in a crisis, right? Or you're feeling highly dysregulated. It's kind of too late then, right? Like we need to be practicing these in times when we're not feeling that dysregulated so that we're truly resetting the nervous system, stimulating the vagus nerve, creating that sense of safety and calmness within the body. So, how you start your morning really does set the tone for the rest of the day. So, before reaching for your phone or rushing into all the things you have to do, just try practicing some of these tools. A slow, gentle exhale, some deep breathing, going back to maybe the box breathing or the 4-7-8 breath cycle, maybe some humming or gentle stretching. While you're making your tea, do it while you're making coffee, right? It's small moments like these that tell your body it's safe to begin, right? Uh, Again, this doesn't have to be huge, major changes, right? Sometimes when I just wake up in the morning, I in bed lay there and just kind of stretch, just however my body feels. It takes a minute, and then I get up and while I'm making my coffee, I practice a little bit of mindfulness and gratefulness, just being present in the moment. And, for me, I like to thank God for this new day and for my home and for my dog and my health, right? Just those small, gentle things that you can really start to build into your practice every day. So, midday is when stress or fatigue tends to accumulate. So, set a timer or build a cue into your day to just kind of pause and reset. Um, Try some other techniques, maybe splashing cold water on your face, or just taking a break to sit and connect with your senses. Maybe doing some mindfulness before you get ready to have lunch. These practices really do act like a reset button, especially when you're starting to feel the tension of the day creeping in. Evenings are a time to calm the nervous system, so avoid overstimulation where possible and focus on signals of safety like dim lights and a quiet space, maybe some warm tea and some slow breathing, journaling, body scanning. These are really good times for that. A consistent evening rhythm prepares your body for restorative sleep and immune recovery, right? Sleep is really, really important. Even just a little bit of sleep deprivation can wreak havoc on your nervous system. So having a good nighttime routine, really key. Pushing through leads to flares, right? Just pushing yourself beyond the limit. Pacing prevents that shutdown and burnout. So notice when you need to take a pause. Can you take 5 minutes of stillness? Can you maybe do one thing a little slower or a little more mindful? Can you say no to something that's optional? Your nervous system needs restoration time just as much as it needs action. And I think this is such an important part of this, kind of listening to your body and knowing when you need to just say no and have some stillness. The vagus nerve responds to what you feed it. So prioritize that. Make warm, easy, healthy meals. We talked a lot about like anti-inflammatory foods like berries and greens, or omega-3s. All that stuff is really good for lowering inflammation in the body. Hydration is really important. We need water, so hydration, hugely important. Eating slowly and calmly and away from screens, if possible, also helps to activate digestion and regulate the vagal tone. Gentle movement, especially when done mindfully, stimulates the vagus nerve. So again, be curious what works for you, right? Maybe that is just kind of stretching in bed or laying on the floor and stretching, or taking a walk. That's a great one. Just kind of rocking and swaying, or maybe you're into yoga and you kind of really get into it. Dancing in your living room, in your bedroom, wherever, right? It's all about focusing on the movement, how that movement feels, not how intense it is. Just let movement be the medicine there. Also, you don't have to regulate alone. Connection stimulates the vagus nerve, especially when the interaction feels safe and attuned. So try making eye contact with someone you feel safe and comfortable with, laughing with a friend or loved one, singing with them, or sharing a moment of just being in each other's presence. You don't even really have to be talking, just kind of co-regulating with feeling comfortable. Prayer is a great one. Petting or snuggling your pet. I do that one all the time, even against his will sometimes. Healing happens in relationships too, not just through our solo practices. So, it's a great way of helping to really connect with the people around you that make you feel safe. There will be days when everything feels heavy. And on those days, keep it simple. 1 minute of breath work is enough, right? One simple stretch when you stand up is enough. Just be kind to yourself. Like on those days, really focus on how you're speaking to yourself and just paying attention to what your body is trying to communicate with you. I mentioned in a few lessons back that, what your 100% today looks like, your 100% tomorrow might be like 30% of today's, and that's okay. Like every day is different. So, just listen to your body, check in with yourself, and, be curious about which of these tools serve you best on that day. So speaking kindly to yourself, hugely important on the days that it doesn't feel so easy. Healing isn't about doing more. It's about finding your way back to center again and again, right? Just coming back to yourself and your sense of safety within your body. Design a simple rhythm that supports your nervous system. You don't need to fill every hour, right? We've talked about integrating these things into your daily life, but this isn't meant to be a chore. So, do one thing in the morning and one thing at midday and one thing at your evening ritual. Let your rhythm evolve with your body's needs and energy. Okay, so let's close with this question. What kind of rhythm does my body truly need right now? Just check in how you're feeling right now in this moment today. Maybe you've had a really busy day at work. Maybe you haven't gone to work yet. You're watching this in the morning. Just check in and see how you're feeling. So what does your body need? Does it need some slowness and stillness? Does it need nourishment? Does it need some playfulness? Does it need rest, right? Doesn't matter. Just listen without judgment and let your healing rhythm be a conversation, not a command, right? We are communicating with our bodies here. Okay, so don't forget companion worksheet. Doing great. Looking forward to seeing you in our next week, week 7.